Offshore oil rigs are floating towns amid the ocean, never sleeping cities towering above passing ships and working silently 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. They are carrying out their duties far from the nearest coast. Welcome back to another exciting video. Today's video is about the terrifying reason why offshore oil rig workers earn so much money. Before we start the video, please like, subscribe, and press the bell icon. To meet the world's energy demands, these oil refineries and gas wells produce billions of barrels of oil and gas. The oil business is at the heart of the global economy. Even little fluctuations in crude oil prices can significantly influence all countries. But have you ever considered the lifestyle and everyday routines of those who live and work on offshore oil rigs? While you may have heard that life on these incredible floating platforms is intriguing, there are a few things you may need to be aware of. First and foremost, it should be noted that life on an oil rig is not glamorous. Indeed, it is where people's lives are on the line every day they work. Although this may sound overdone, energy and labor on offshore oil rigs are harsh and dangerous. For the past 500 years, oil demand has outstripped supply. Oil corporations began to explore deeper waters and create drilling rigs to extract crude oil from the seabed using hydraulic equipment and gather oil from underground pipelines and oil wells on land. The Gulf of Mexico was one of the first areas where offshore oil drilling occurred. As word spread about this finding, other fields were discovered in various locations, including Scotland and the North Sea. Why are crude oil and offshore oil rigs so vital to the globe today? Most equipment today is still powered by traditional energy sources such as fossil fuels. In addition, burning fossil fuels can power factories, industries, vehicles, residences, and other structures. Alternative energies better for the environment, such as wind, water, and solar, are now less efficient than fossil fuels. However, utilizing fossil fuels has implications because they emit greenhouse gases contributing to global climate change. Despite this, the crude oil industry and offshore oil rigs remain the preferred choice due to their ease of usage. The impact of land drilling is another reason why offshore oil rigs are so crucial. Large amounts of land are necessary to keep these projects running, which can restrict the piece of land available for the rising human population. Working and living on offshore oil rigs is a significant change for anyone who enters this sector. To begin working on the rig, a person must don proper attire. When new crew members arrive, they are given safety glasses, hard hats, protective clothes, and steel-toed boots. Before and during work, routine safety instruction is provided. Workers on offshore oil rigs often work 8 to 12-hour shifts with breaks for morning, afternoon, and evening meals. A worker must also perform night shifts because the sector operates 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. It may appear complicated, but workers will have nearly 3 weeks off following a 2-week stint on the rig. Workers that live on the rig do not have to worry about food, laundry, or other necessities. Given the limited space and land, rooms with bunk beds are prevalent on oil rigs. Furthermore, offshore oil rigs typically feature a smoking area with lighters available for smokers, as lighters usually are not permitted outside of smoking areas. Cinemas, televisions in each room, fully equipped gyms, indoor sports facilities such as table tennis, and laptops with internet access are also accessible on offshore oil rigs. Life on an offshore oil rig may be exciting and pleasurable for people who live and work on oil rigs or for staff members such as medical personnel, catering, and others. However, it is fraught with danger. The risks have been significantly reduced thanks to improved and safer oil rig technology. Workers must, however, continually emphasize prudence and carefulness. The arrival time and work conditions at that moment substantially influence the work shift of oil rig crew members. They will usually labor for 12 hours and then rest for 12 hours after getting on the rig. However, depending on the career field, the work schedule may differ. Because the crew will stay on the rig for 2 weeks with few entertainment options, the corporation must ensure that the staff works longer hours while still getting enough rest. Long working hours may appear harsh, but remember that time spent on an oil rig is called active time. This work period includes meals and relaxation periods, and this time is intended to boost the staff's well-being. Every crew member on an oil rig adheres to a specific timetable that has been meticulously developed to guarantee that no time is wasted. Because the day on an oil rig begins at midnight and the rig operations 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, a worker who begins a night shift can follow the schedule below. Wake up at 11:30 p.m. and arrange equipment for the work shift. Have your first large meal at midnight. Then go to work and get your day's instructions. The first break is taken at 2 a.m. after several hours of work, followed by the second at 4 a.m. At 6 a.m., the second significant dinner is served, followed by personal time at 8 a.m. The third break is at 10 a.m., and the fourth is at noon. The third significant dinner is served at 2 p.m., and the shift concludes at 3. After the final break, at 30 p.m. Before going to bed, the crew must prepare for the next day, consume snacks, connect with their families on shore, interact with co-workers, or cook refreshments in the constantly open kitchen. Although the timetable may appear hectic, the allocated rest time is critical for giving the team a pause to stay fit and focused during their work shift. Furthermore, making time to speak with family and colleagues can provide workers the emotional support they require to execute their jobs well. There are also training and education courses available on offshore oil rigs. Because working on an oil rig is not a job for the faint of heart, the machines utilized in the sector and the nature of the labor might differ, and the physical intensity can be highly demanding. As a result, it's not unexpected that most oil and gas organizations have stringent employment criteria and certifications. Oil rig workers' salaries vary depending on their role and level of expertise. Drilling engineers and underground pipe fitters are among the highest paid jobs, earning over $200,000 annually. Even entry-level jobs like roughnecks and roustabouts can provide a good livelihood. Salary ranges from $40,000 to $60,000 each year. Overall, the compensation and perks for oil rig workers can be very appealing. But remember that the work comes with its own set of obstacles and risks. Companies also provide housing and benefits to employees' families. Complete insurance coverage is included for the daring. Working on an oil rig is a dream come true since it is a fast-paced environment that rewards hard effort and devotion. Maintaining contact with the mainland is critical in any offshore job. It is the nearest source of help supplies and emergency assistance. As a result, organizations in this area think carefully about handling logistics for mainland transportation. Specially modified VTOL helicopters are a typical mode of transport for crew, staff, and equipment. Manufacturers with well-known helicopter models include Airbus and the Bristow Group. Several types of these aircraft are built to serve a particular purpose. Light helicopters are designed for small groups of no more than 10 passengers, including the pilot. They are used to transport small teams to and from the coast, as well as inspect offshore pipelines with a small crew. They can transport necessary supplies, but not hanging loads. Medium helicopters are classified into two types, passenger and cargo. The passenger model can transport groups of up to 15 persons and is frequently used for shift changes. The cargo variant can carry greater loads, including medium-sized hanging loads. Thanks for watching the video. If you enjoyed it, please like, share, and subscribe to our channel for more exciting content.